You asked me about the IPOA. Personally, I've been dealing with the protest victims, especially for this year. So when the protest victims were taken to Kenyatta, and I will categorically talk about Kenyatta, and I'm not afraid to mention them. When the comrades were taken there, some were dead. So the cops took it upon themselves to use knives to remove bullets from the bodies of those who died when they got to the hospital. Second, those who were operated on, the bullets were taken. Sort bullets haziko na IPOA. It's Kenyatta National.
I will answer some of those questions that have been asked, and my comrades will also jump in those sections they feel that they will be able to articulate, and especially those that have been directed at them. One, it was why are we speaking on some issues and not all issues, especially in question of the quarry matters, that those are all also issues to be presented, right? I will answer this by saying, if anybody has been here since morning, we've been talking about Katiba at 15 years old, meaning that our constitution is a teenager and it behaves a certain way, or we should see certain repercussions from it as at now. That being said, we've mentioned several articles in the constitution, including the right to life, which is in the Bill of Rights, chapter 4 of the Constitution of Kenya, and that speaks to murders, not just quarry murders. It speaks to the issues of femicide in this country. It speaks to the issues of extrajudicial killings. When we are coming here, we may not be able to say all issues A, B, C, D, but when we mention Article 1 and we say all sovereign power belongs to the people, that covers all issues that surround that. When we mention Article 43 of the Constitution of Kenya, which talks about socio-economic rights of the people, I can talk about housing, but that does not mean that water, sanitation, education is not part of Article 43. When you talk about Article 37 of picketing and peaceable assembly. So all these issues about quarry matters are not away from us. They are issues that we are dealing with and we are mentioning. When we mentioned extrajudicial killings, if you saw our representatives from Moyale, from Kisumu, from Mombasa, from Nairobi, from the women constituency, from the Gen Z movement, they were all able to articulate these issues. So we don't have to mention all the issues one by one, but by mentioning one of them or an article that deals with it, then we have dealt with that issue. Thank you. Number two, you talked about faces that were seen earlier. Are we going to see them in 2027? I want to state clearly and unrevocably that the 2024 Gen Z uprising in this country was extremely organic. So nobody planned to go out on the streets. It was the anger, it was the raising of political consciousness of the young people, and it was us wanting better for this country. So nobody had come to galvanize and say, this is our voice. That being said, moving forward, I think we have presented a political alternative for these people, for this country, which is centered on Article 1. All sovereign power belongs to the people, and we shall practice it directly or indirectly. How do we practice it directly? Through our representatives. How do we do it indirectly? Through the people. It can be through maandamano. It can also be through people's assemblies, which we are proposing here today. That we want to have people's assemblies from the ward level, the constituency level, the regional level, all the way to the national level, and have a national people's council, which is a people's representation. That being said, our ideals of the young people do not espouse a savior complex, which is what we are calling for in this country. Like, who is Matiang'i going to save us?
No.
Is Maraga going to save us?
No.
Who is going to save us? So,
the people.
the problem is that we have a savior complex. So today, because you see me here, I'm not the savior of Kenya. Kasmuel is not the savior of Kenya or all those other young people who have come. So what we are representing for this country is ideals. This is the ideology that we are going to work with. This is what the people of Kenya should expect from us. So today, if I fall from this, any other soldier will come after me, because it is not about me as a person. It is about the ideals we espouse to the people, for the people, by the people, and being kept accountable. So it's not about a savior, or today we have these young people. It is about who is going to continue the movement, who is going to continue the voice of the people. And my call to the people of Kenya is that we should stop having a savior complex, that somebody is coming to save us. Nobody is coming to save us. What are you offering the people of Kenya? And you cannot offer it in isolation. Who are the people behind you? Who are you working with? So that answers the second question. I will leave the third question to my comrades on the IPOA and the bullets. But I would also like to say that we have human rights organizations like the Human Rights Watch East Africa, and the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights, the Kenya Commission on Human Rights, various human rights institutions that have been able to ably document what happened during the protests. And we were there ourselves as witnesses. So we've been able to see, but I'm sure my comrades will answer this better. On a different approach to national politics, I've already mentioned it in the National People's Council. I will not belabor it more. Have we approached a national figure? Surely. This goes back to that issue of savior complex. Or we've had all this. Why am I not a national figure? When you say national figure, who do you mean? Do you mean that there's somebody who I need to approach, who can be able to espouse what I need as a Kenyan more than me? And I'm not just talking about me, I'm talking about you in your homes. We are our national figures wherever we are. So you cannot tell me that I need to approach who is a national figure. I am a national figure for the young people. Anybody here is a national figure, and we are taking the leadership and saying, here we are as the people of Kenya. So we are national leaders, sijui unaniambia ni nani. What are we doing to ensure that the young people remain together? This is the reason that we have this convention today for the young people. For us to have our voices, we've had voices from diverse counties. And of course, if we had more money, we would have done more. But with the little we had, we were able to bring young people together. Tumejitolea kukuja hapa, hakuna mtu ametulipa fare. And all these young people are actually entering organizations. We belong to organizations that fight for women, the issues of femicide, the issues of patriarchy, the issues of women leadership in politics, etc. We belong to the National Students Caucus. Some of us here are fighting for rights of students, the right of education, Article 43. We belong to social justice centers in this country. We belong to revolutionary movements, and some of us are even building alternative political leadership in this country. And I am one of those people trying to work with our comrades to build political leadership. And we are coming together to say this is the alternative that we are giving for our country. So this is how we are ensuring that the young people remain together. And just to finish, it is not about one person. It is not a savior complex. It is about all hands on deck and us building the country. When one soldier falls, any other soldier will be able to espouse the ideals of the young people.
So must go. You asked me about the IPOA. Personally, I've been dealing with the protest victims, especially for this year. So when the protest victims were taken to Kenyatta, and I will categorically talk about Kenyatta, and I am not afraid to mention them. When the comrades were taken there, some were dead. So the cops took it upon themselves to use knives to remove bullets from the bodies of those who died when they got to the hospital. Second, those who were operated on, the bullets were taken, sort of bullets haziko na IPOA. It's Kenyatta National Hospital that knows where the bullets are. So these victims do not have their bullets, so they cannot present them to IPOA for following up on their cases for getting justice. Some comrades are at home with bullets because Kenyatta National Hospital refused to operate on them in the name of specialists wameenda home kufanya exam. Kuna several comrades who are home with deadly bullets in deadly places. What we're trying to say is there is clear obstruction of justice in this nation, and we shall not fail to speak up about this matter. On the issue of what I said about different approach to our national and political organization as the youth, first of all, Kasongo asikia ambiwe vijana tumeungana, tumekuja pamoja na tunataka kuchukua uongozi wa nchi hii. Experience yenye yako nayo ni experience ya uongo. Sisi tuko na experience ya shida zenye Wakenya wanapitia, na sisi ndio tuko na suluhisho ya shida ambazo Wakenya wanapitia. We are mothers, we are parents, we are sisters, we are brothers. We feel the pain of Kenyans and we have the solution. Na siulize plan yetu ni gani? Plan yetu ni yeye aende, sisi tufanye kazi.